Hello, welcome back to Adobe Live here on Behance. Yes, Tim, you have it right. This is the last stream of the week, of the day.
Sad.
So many tears flying off.
Huge ones.
Yeah, big Ghibli tears. Thanks for coming back and hanging out with us here on Behance. We are here every week, and this week we've been covering hand lettering. I'm here with Sindy Ethel.
Hello.
Hello again for the third day in a row.
I know,
It's been a lovely 3 days. I think you would agree. Chat. So if you're just hanging out with us for the first time, say hello to us, and you can do that by just saying what's up in the chat to make sure you're logged in on Behance. I'll let Sindy introduce herself in a moment, but first I'm going to let you know that in about 30 minutes, we're going to be doing our chat and win. We have 100 free credits to one lucky winner for Sticker Mule. I'm using top of the class way to get custom stickers. So you get a free online proof made by a real live person. I think that's sent over within 24 hours, and then you get free worldwide shipping. The prices are awesome. The quality is great. So stick around in 30 minutes for that. And then in an hour, Sindy's going to be reviewing some portfolios. Amazing.
That sounds great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you've been hanging out earlier today, you've seen the other hosts and streamers reviewing work, and you could be one of them. So get that sent over to us in the portfolio review tab. It's over here if you have hand lettering in your portfolio. We'd love to see it. Let's see, anything else? If I think of anything else, I'll say it. But for now, I'm going to let Sindy introduce herself for one last time.
Third time and last time. Cool.
Third time and last time, yeah.
Thanks, Kathleen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm Sindy, and I'm an illustrator, a graphic designer, and lettering artist. And I have a few years so far doing this, and I'm very happy to be here.
She's doing great. And you've been doing something totally different every day.
And today is going to be different as well.
Yeah. Oh my
I
gosh.
hope you guys like it.
Yeah, I'm excited. So let us know, chat, if you've been here for Sindy's streams the last couple of days, because you were working on recreating this technique that's behind us the first day. Ta-da! It looked amazing. And then yesterday you worked on something similar to this. If we pop over to my screen, can I show you all? So you recreated this technique, but you did New York City, right?
New York City.
It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Chat, if you want to go check it out, watch the replay tabs are above us, and it's saved there for you. And then today you're doing something new.
New?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I can explain a little bit
Please.
before starting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today I'm gonna be showing you some tips for layout. I've heard some friends of mine, they have trouble, stacking words together
Yeah.
and how you can make a good composition with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna show you the way I do it, and I really hope that you guys find it useful.
I know I will. I'm excited to see.
Cool.
Nice. Tiffany says, I can't wait for you to show us tips today about sketching. She remembers from yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Nice, Tiffany. Kiara's back, Eric's back, Yanina's back, Patricia's back, Roxanne's
wow.
back.
It's so cool to see people from other days here,
Heck
right?
yeah,
They
seriously.
They stay tuned.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for
Nice.
hanging out with us.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's jump in.
Let's
See where you're starting.
Yes. All right. So I'm gonna create a new file in Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say 50 by 40, 300 dpi. And today it's a lot of freedom. I'm not gonna be creating any final pieces. It's more
Okay.
about sketching.
Sweet.
All right. So I'm gonna create a new layer.
And starting with a dark background.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with the black. And I'm gonna call this layer sketches. And let's start better with white,
Okay.
so it looks more like paper. There you go.
Boom.
Alright, so I'm gonna grab my brush to a size that it's small. I'm gonna try to mimic some pencil size,
Okay.
something small. I think this works perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm just pressing letter F to hide some of the tools in Photoshop
Cool.
and zooming in. Alright, so yeah, blank page can be a little bit intimidating,
Yeah,
right?
my heart's pounding just a bit.
Where do I start?
Yeah.
And I've heard people saying that, oh, how do you tackle this problem of being so intimidated
Yeah.
by the white page?
Great.
But you just go for it.
Just make some marks.
Make some marks.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take Adobe Live for a word.
Cool, I like that.
And I'm gonna start drawing some guides. Ooh, there's a lot of people there in the chat, right?
Yeah, they're all watching. Alan says, go Sindy, you're the best at lettering layout.
Cool.
Thanks for hanging out, Alan. Tom says the anticipation is real.
I'm gonna create some tension here.
Some dramatic tension. I like it.
No, I'll go for it. I'm gonna create some lines, and let's say I always choose this kind of green because, as I was saying yesterday, it looks similar to the Photoshop guides.
Yeah.
So in a way, you feel like it's some Photoshop guides.
You have a nickname in the chat.
What is it?
Letter Indy.
That's amazing.
I like it.
Cool. So let's say I have these two guides because we have two words, right? And maybe one tip that I can show you before starting with it, it's I always analyze the length of these words. For example, let's say Adobe, and let's say live.
I like the way you make E's. Cool. It's got a little hat.
Roughy. So we see that Adobe, it's a longer word than live.
Yeah.
So that's an easy way to start, like thinking of space and which one is gonna use more space from your artboard.
Yeah.
So what I would do here is take my guides. I'm gonna start just drawing Adobe.
Cool.
Let's say, and it doesn't have to be like very refined.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I like how you say drawing. I'm going to draw Adobe. You're not just writing it, you're really thinking about the shapes.
That's true.
It looks pretty good, though.
Ooh, I drew on my guides.
No,
That's
Cindy.
come and see.
It happens to all of
Newbie
us.
mistake? All right, near later.
Second time's always the best anyways.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna draw it really quick.
Ashi says, your work is really good. Don says, Cindy is the best. Patricia loves your sense of humor. That's a really nice compliment, Patricia.
I do have a weird personality.
No, it's good. I like it. We fit together.
Nice. All right, so I have Adobe, and then I'm gonna trace live. And what I would analyze is, for example, these spaces that I have underneath these letters. And I'm gonna try to fit live underneath.
Ah, okay.
I never draw the finishes of this letter until the end, like these parts. I always leave them open for whatever can happen there. So I'm gonna start writing live.
And Tanvi is wondering, why did you delete the first time you drew Adobe?
Oh, it's because I was drawing on top of my guides, so they were merged together.
Yep.
And I want to have them in different layers.
Right.
Was a mistake.
Layers are super important in Photoshop.
Yeah.
Probably the most important, like maybe not as important in Illustrator, but definitely super important in Photoshop, because you can be drawing on the wrong layer for hours and then your whole thing is ruined.
Yeah.
Maybe not ruined, but severely damaged.
All right, so now we have these two words. What I'm gonna do is try to stack them in a good place. For example, taking advantage of all these spaces.
Yeah.
And also you see, like, underneath these two words, there's all this space. But it's useful because the dot of the I and this part of the V is helping me, like, fill these gaps.
Yep.
And just feels harmonic and really nice. Spacing is really important, so I'm gonna take this L and just try to fill a little bit this space.
Yeah, you're really thinking about composition.
Yeah. And it's good to sketch it first, because some people just work on the final piece right away, and then you don't have much time to finish it like as you wanted. I'm gonna try to take advantage of this space here.
Yeah.
By doing this.
I love hearing your
like
thought
that.
process. It's cool.
And I don't know, let's say we have something like that maybe. Or maybe like that. Maybe it's a little more slanted. I'm just taking it and tapping Command and Shift.
Getting that skew going.
And that's cute. I use it a lot.
Yeah. It's great.
And maybe only this part I wanted it to be a little bit smaller. And I think this starts to feel good.
What do you think, chat? Looking good to you?
Yeah, let us know.
It's looking good to me.
Maybe this letter E can help me fill that gap. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny with these kind of phrases because there's an E on the end of both words. So you're like, how do I make this not look repetitive, but not too different at the same time?
Yeah, it might be if you want it to look the same, maybe you can just duplicate this one. Just paste it right there.
True.
Sometimes what I do is also having some opacity here.
Yeah, what percentage are you setting that to?
Thank you, Goodly. 21.
It's
Be
super important.
Be completely sure it's 21.
21 and a half.
Yeah, and half.
It's possible.
Does it?
No.
No.
Not even in the Adobe Studio. It's not possible.
Cool. So what I would do here, for example, is just I don't know. Maybe I want another letter A here. Another style of letter A. Maybe something like that.
Ooh, I like that. Little A with a little ponytail.
Mm-hmm.
Whip that hair, A.
Yeah, like
Got it. Blowing in the wind.
maybe something like that. And I'm just gonna duplicate these two guys.
Okay, cool. You're duplicating your sketch.
Yeah. And I'm gonna erase the other one with the lasso tool by selecting it. Then you select the layer and just delete.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. And then you go full opacity here and just merge these two layers together by pressing Command E.
Nice.
I'm gonna move this one a little bit. Yeah. So right now, I'm gonna delete this guy. Go full opacity, another one. And see how you have now two different thumbnails with two different styles.
Super quickly.
Super quick. Yeah, it's very useful to just set some opacity and just word like certain letters you're not like entirely happy with.
Yeah.
Or maybe that you want to explore further. Maybe this one. Because sometimes you can go to that mistake where, I don't know, you stack letters together and you start to have these problems here, for example. I don't know, maybe this one can be more like that.
Yeah, you're pushing things just a little bit further.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just keep the exploration going.
I like it. Blanca wants to know, how big are your files usually?
Well, for this exercise in particular, it's, let's say, I don't know, 50 by 40, but it's just very random right now. I just make sure it's 300 dpi.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, then you're going to be seeing everything very pixelated.
Yeah.
For this one, it's very random. Depends on the project, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If it's a poster, people give you the size you need, the canvas size you need.
Right.
But I usually work in bigger sizes, just in case in the future, I don't know, I want to make a print or something.
Yeah, and I think Kyle was asking something similar. If you are sketching and then you enlarge your sketch vastly, does it affect the quality? And the answer would be probably yes.
Yeah.
If you make it a lot bigger, you might run into an issue. I think you kind of want to avoid enlarging things unless it's just in the sketching phase. Then it doesn't really matter because you're just going to cover it up anyways.
That's true. Cool, so right now we have so far 3 different thumbnails. 0%, 100. I don't know, people, which one do you like better?
Oh, okay. Maybe we can do an A, B, or C, or 1, 2, or 3.
A being this one, B and Z.
Okay, A, B, or C. Which one do you prefer? Chat, go! Right,
go.
now. There is a little bit of a delay, so we will see it in probably like 15.
All right, I'm gonna stack them like this.
A, B, or C. All right, Tiffany says B, A, C, C, B, 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 C. Wow.
Chat's going crazy.
Uh-huh. I'm seeing more C's and B's than A. Do you prefer one out of C and B?
Let's go for B.
Okay.
I see a lot of B's in that chat.
B it is. To B.
Cool. I'm gonna group these and just boop.
See ya, but you're not deleting it because you
No.
never know.
You never know. Like, you always want to save. Like, sometimes at the end you're like, why did I take these decisions? Oh, yeah.
Yep, you got your proof right there. Oscar says he likes W.
W?
There's no W, Oscar. You must be trolling us.
He's looking at another stream. Alright, I'm refining some details. Alright, so my layer with my guides is here. I'm just organizing a little bit here.
It's good. You've named your layers. That's nice. Yeah.
Cool, so I'm gonna be creating this grid, same color with the green, same as we did yesterday, but if you were not there, I'm just duplicating this. And it doesn't have to be like an exact distance between the lines, it's just a reference guide.
Right. Because you're not really going to build your letters to perfectly line up with them.
No.
It's more just a visual reference.
Exactly. I'm just making them bigger, and I'm just gonna fit them into the slant angle that my letters have right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one cool thing about sketching in Photoshop is that you can actually slant your letters like as much as you want.
Yeah.
Something more, I don't know, innocent like this, or something very expressive like that.
Elegant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't have to be an exact angle unless you're making like very specific calligraphy style. It's 45 degrees or something.
Yeah, like
that.
black letter or something.
Yeah,
Crazy.
but not right now.
Yeah. Badir, good morning. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's morning for you. I wonder where you are. It's currently almost 2 p.m. here in San Francisco. Where are you at?
Almost.
Yeah, you're like, what time is it for me? Because you're used to Eastern time.
Yeah, New York time.
So it's a little bit later for you. I wonder if you've gotten used to the time change yet.
And last night I was like 2 in the morning and just looking at the ceiling.
Yeah, you're like, what do I do?
I would be doing something else in New York.
Mm-hmm. True. Actually, oh no, I was going to say, that's like your favorite time of day, right?
Yeah.
1 a.m.?
Yeah, maybe not yesterday.
No, not yesterday.
Cool, so I'm gonna grab my brush settings.
Sweet.
And what I'm gonna do here is just try to make a calligraphic brush,
Ooh.
but not so formal as calligraphy.
Yeah.
So make sure you have the pen pressure activated, and in this tab brush, you see how here you can see the distance. So let's put it to 1% or 0%, but that doesn't exist, so it's 1.
Just all the way over.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove all of these.
Which one is that? Oh, the diameter.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
diameter. And here I'm just gonna move these dots.
Ooh, a little bit more like a chisel-y.
Yeah. So pretty much I'm trying to create like a digital brush.
Wow.
You see how...
Right. That really kind of mimics a brush pen or the way that it would move.
And the more like this you make it, it's...
Whoa.
The more contrast you get.
Yeah.
But let's say more like that. I'm gonna put like an exact angle here to -45. And let's see how it works.
Boom, let's go.
Yeah. So right now what I have is this layer with opacity. And then I'm gonna create a new layer here.
And that's for your final. Maybe not really the final,
Not the
but it's
final, but
yeah, a second version of your sketch.
Yeah.
Ashi says it looks like a fountain pen. Yeah, it has that thick and that thin, kind of like a brush pen. So depending on the direction of your brushing and the speed and the pressure, it gets thicker and thinner.
Yeah, and if you guys are familiar with, or you have done this before, you'll know like when to make pressure.
You'll know when it's good. Tiffany's wondering, do you ever use the brush smoothing tool?
Not really.
Yeah, so at least it's kind of new in Photoshop where you can turn on like a smoothing where you can make really almost vectory smoothness to your brush strokes.
Oh, that sounds really cool. Maybe
Yeah.
I should try it out.
Yeah, it's at the top of the toolbar. You can see it now where it says smoothing. You can increase it and then try to make like a little brush stroke so it kind of drags behind it and keeps it super smooth.
Ooh, this is good.
Yeah, and if you're not used to it, it might be kind of difficult
Yeah.
doing it on the fly.
Yeah, maybe for this time I'm just gonna set it as I always used to do it. Also, it's lagging a little bit. Maybe it's my computer. So I'll just go for this. Also, what I do is just make a sketch here and then go to Illustrator. So I never leave these things final here.
Yeah, you don't need to have it perfectly smooth. Has a little bit of emotion still.
Fixing some spacing here.
Yeah, I guess saying that's a good way to do it. You can write it with a proper pen and then scan it and trace it in Illustrator. Totally.
Totally, yeah.
Cindy is 100% digital.
Yeah.
Well, you're not, though, because you were showing us yesterday how you did the paint on the whiteboard.
Oh, well, maybe I just merged those two together.
Yeah, but you like to do most of your work digitally.
Yeah, that's for sure.
What's up, Mateus? How you doing? This looks good.
It's starting to take shape.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be perfect because, yeah, as I was saying, I will take this to Illustrator afterwards. So it's just a reference.
Tanvi is wondering, do we have these live chats every day? Tanvi, almost. So we're here pretty much live every Tuesday through Thursday, a lot of times on Fridays as well. be.net/live is the best place to watch. If you're over on YouTube, come on over to Behance. That's where you can chat with us. That's where we will actually see what you are saying on Behance. And then in about 8 minutes, we're going to be doing our Sticker Mule giveaway, chat and win. Super exciting. It's going to be the last one of the week.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. So this is the time to shine, people. Get into chat, get signed in. In about 8 minutes, we're going to ask you a question. When you answer the question in chat, you will be entered to win 100 free credits to Sticker Mule. Really beautiful, high-quality stickers that you just want to put all over yourself. They're great. They're like little temporary tattoos. Never thought about it that way.
All over yourself?
Yeah, why not? Anyways, you could order 100 of them for free if you win the chat and win. Pretty much best in the business, super quick turnaround. You can get awesome, huge packs of stickers or smaller sizes to hand out at conventions or to put in your Etsy packages, who knows. So that'll be in a couple minutes. Stick around. And we have to think of a question, too.
Maybe they can tell us where would you put the stickers?
Yeah, don't answer it yet. Wait a couple minutes and we'll let you know.
No, we can think of something else. Cool. So I'm just duplicating this letter E. Fixing some spacing.
Fixing it on the fly, I like it.
On the fly. So we remove the guys, remove the sketch, and now we have this more refined sketch.
It looks good.
But as you see, you can still like see where it fits better.
Mm-hmm.
Making some space there, but it feels nice. And also you can also play with the flourishes.
Ooh.
For example, I would just duplicate and make some opacity and just play around with this guy.
Yeah.
Just to see what works better.
Man, I love seeing this iteration. Just like, okay, this looks good. Let's make it even better. Okay, that looks good. Let's make it even better. It's cool.
Then I just erase this part.
Dina says, wow, that looks really good, Cindy.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dina. Chat, if you were here, was it last Friday that we did our Creative Mornings virtual field trip? Dina was on stream with us, learning how to use Capture. It was a good time. We were making stickers. Small world. Noelle says, once this is done, we all need to tattoo it on our biceps. Right here.
Sure, I'll send the PSZ.
Okay, cool. Just give that to your tattoo artist, and they're like, are you sure?
Cool. Yeah. So now we have this sketch. And you see it's very good process just to, sketch the space first before you make something more refined.
Yeah.
And this is one way to do it. But how about exploring other layout?
Okay, if you
other
say
styles?
so. Let's do it.
So I'm going to create another layer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make more guides. I'm going to go back to my round brush.
Gotcha. But it's still set to blue, because that's what you used last time.
Yeah. So let's say, and I'm going to work this faster. Let's say I have this canvas size. So it's more like a rectangle-ish shape. I don't know, maybe I have the word Adobe like this.
Oh.
And then I have the word light here.
Cool.
Because we know that it's a smaller word.
Yeah, it fits perfectly in there.
So, it's good like to measure like the length of the words because then you can think of shapes instead of, the words themselves.
Yeah, not as letters, but as shapes.
So we have this sort of Tetris thing. And I don't know, let's say maybe I want the Adobe word more like caps.
More pronounced.
Yeah.
Powerful.
And I'm gonna show these to you first, like this, because then you see, oh man, this is so short.
Oopsies.
Yeah, but then how do you compensate the space? So what I would do is just use more of this extended style of letters.
Right.
And I'm just, and it's good, like right now I'm not using any like particular style of letters. Maybe afterwards I'm gonna choose with serifs.
Right, you're gonna kind of build on top of it.
Exactly, but so far it's just
Adobe.
oh well. This is a common mistake of people who make typography and lettering.
Yeah, because it doesn't become a letter anymore. It's really just a shape.
Thank you, Goodley.
Yeah, no problem. Andrew says, I love seeing Cindy's almost instinctual design process. And then his chat disappeared, so I didn't see the rest of it. Okay. Her instinctive process of designing digital sketching and refining, so different from my usual process. Andrew says, I think I need to shake it up a bit after seeing your work. Getting inspired.
Cool.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, no big deal. I'm just really inspiring.
All right, so the live word is very short, so I would need to cover all that space.
Cool.
Maybe it's feel like that. And one tip for hierarchy, maybe you're gonna help me pronunciate that word.
No, that's good. You did it perfectly.
Yeah, right, hierarchy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so right now these two words have almost the same weight.
Mm-hmm.
But one way you can make one word be more important is by adding some weight here. So let's say this is bold and the other is not.
Cool. And it's cool that the shorter word is more bold.
Yeah, and it depends, like which word do you want to highlight more? That's up to you or your client or whatever project, but...
No, I think this is smart because, you know, everyone knows Adobe. But do you know Adobe Live? It's a special brand of Adobe. So special. Kyle says, Adobe lives!
Yeah, so different ways to make letters more important or words more important. It's one by adding more size, bigger than that, or adding weight.
Yeah.
Like if you have two words the same size but one is bold, then it becomes more important.
Yeah, and that's when it gets kind of confusing when you like mix a bold word and also like an italic word and one that's in color. It's like, which one has the most power? The hierarchy kind of starts to combat.
Exactly.
No, Adobe Live isn't a brand. It's an experience.
So that's that. So maybe it's gonna work like that. But let's explore this further.
Ooh, Laura says, Cindy, I'm a big fan of your work ever since I took your class with R3DO in Domestika.
Oh wow, one of my students.
Hey, Laura, glad that you could make it here.
Thank you so much for following my work.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else seen Cindy's work on Domestika? We talked about it yesterday. It's kind of like Skillshare, but specifically in Spanish.
Yeah, it's this platform for online courses, but it's in Spanish specifically.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's go crazy.
Okay.
Maybe this layout is more about having two triangles.
Very dynamic shapes. Lots of diagonal action. Oh, Dawn, you also did the Domestika? Cool.
Awesome. There's
Maybe.
a lot of people here.
Yeah, it is almost time to win some stickers, everyone. It's about time for our chat and win.
Yes.
Chat, do you know what's about to happen? Have you been around for one of these chat and wins before? It's a very exciting experience, as you can see behind us. So we are offering one of you 100 free Sticker Mule credits. Super cool prize. You could have a custom sticker pack. You can make them for promotion or for gifts or whatever you want. You get them made by Sticker Mule. You can do die cuts, sticker packs, or sticker sheets, vinyl, all that good stuff. And the way that you would win is get logged in on Behance, be.net/live, and you're going to say something in the chat. What should we ask them?
Let's see. Maybe they can suggest 2 words for me to work next.
Oh, okay. So what, you said 2 words? What 2-word phrase do you want Cindy to letter next? Let us know.
Maybe it's something they have trouble, like, laying out.
Yeah, that's true. If you've had trouble with it before.
Chat and win.
Chat and win. That's Welcome back, everyone. You missed the dance party we just had. So someone's going to win, and I'm excited to see who it is. Their name is going to magically appear. Yeah, let's look at some of these quotes or frames. People are saying their names. That's a good idea. We have a name above us.
Dance party.
The winner of the...
Jonas!
Yeah, Jonas, congratulations. You have won 100 free credits to Sticker Mule. Thanks so much for submitting or adding or saying something in chat. Where am I?
So what's the words?
But before we get to the actual word, I want to let you all know that since this is the last chat and win of the week, we're going to give you 10 free stickers, even if you did not win. Go to this link above us, stickermule.com/Adobe Live, and you can have 10 free stickers. Thank you, Sticker Mule. Really appreciate it. Go check them out, even if you aren't going to get free stickers, because they're amazing. Do it. Okay. Phrases. Let me actually check through the chat. Moonwalk. That's a good one. Like the dance. Spacewalking. Space Invaders. Let's see. Amazing, dude.
So many options.
Dance party. Pew pew. Dancing queen. Hello, goodbye. Digital invaders. Let's see what else. Dance party, it's another one. Comedy tragedy, that's cool. Sweet potatoes.
I love typography.
Letterhead. Be ready. Chicken dinner.
Jonas is too lucky. Thank you, Henrik.
Awesome. Cindy rules.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. Does anything sound good to you?
I think let's try. I love typography just because it's three different lengths of words. One is too short, one is, medium, and the other is super long.
Super long, yeah.
So that's even a challenge for me.
All right, let's challenge the master.
Cool. So I'm gonna do first the same. So I love.
Okie doke, typography. Spelled right, nice.
I was like, Kathleen, help.
Got you.
So I have love, and I have typography. So I have 3 blocks and 3 different lengths of words.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna create a new layer. And let's say, and I'm just gonna randomize something here.
Okay.
So let's say that's one layout.
Add some of them diagonal guides.
Yeah, so let's see. I'm gonna move this circle over here.
Chat, if you're wondering about the 10 free stickers, it's stickermule.com/Adobe Live. There it is. Like magic. Go to that link, get 10 free stickers. All right, back to Cindy. Kevin is wondering where Val is today. Val is out today, but she will be back. I'm glad that you're missing her presence, though. I miss her, too.
Yeah, so as you see, I never put the endings of the words.
Yeah, right, the little swashes and flourishes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just because sometimes when you add them, then you start thinking of them, or they are on your way, and you start building thinking about them.
Yeah. When they should be kind of the secondary thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I have these 2. I'm gonna start moving them just to see where, for example, the R fits super good here.
Ooh.
I can even make it a little bigger.
Nice. Noemi says that you should start selling your work. They'd love to get some prints or anything else with your designs on it.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea.
Mm-hmm. So you could get some stickers, sell them.
Maybe I can use a sticker mule.
You should. You got 10 free stickers. Why not? make a bit of a profit. So you can send your portfolio, Tanvi, to the portfolio review tab over here. There should be a link. And that reminds me, in 25 minutes, where you can see below us, 23.26 minutes, we will be looking at 2 portfolios. So Sindy will be reviewing some lettering work, some graphic design work. If you have a portfolio that specifically makes sense for Sindy to review, if it's graphic design or lettering, send it over. We'd love to see it.
Yes, we do.
What's up, Tess from Sweden? Thanks for hanging out with us. Tim, you are also an amazing moderator. But so is Val, and she's not here. And we're sad. What's up, Tiago? Thanks for hanging out.
Cool, so that's one way of doing it.
Got that little swash going through
Yeah,
the
you
loop.
can even, try things like that. I'm gonna duplicate this guy. Set some opacity here.
21%?
Yeah, always 21.
Good, that's the most important thing. Eric says, we love your magic, Sindy.
Magic.
Yeah, the best kind of lettering magic.
So right now I'm just building on top of these ones, but as you see, maybe this is too forced, I don't know, but maybe it's not feeling right.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, it's not necessary to have it, so I'm just gonna see how it looks another way.
Right, I prefer it the second way.
Yeah, me too.
Fits a little better.
Yeah, but it's always good to, explore these things before you make final pieces.
Totally. I have a bad habit of going with my first sketch. Just saying, okay, on to the finish.
I mean, sometimes it works.
Sometimes, but it's more just because I'm impatient. So you recommend really just sketching and playing.
Yeah, I would say play first, and then see what feels better, like this detail here.
Yeah, right. I feel like you shouldn't even put like a time limit. Don't worry about the fact that you have to then finish it. Just really get that design locked in.
Yeah, and it can be really quick sketches, like these two, for example. Oh, they're hidden. Yeah, like these two. It's just, oh yeah, I mean, it works. But let's see what else can I do.
Totally. Ashi wants to know what your real handwriting looks like.
Oh, it's something more like this.
I love it. It's so funny how I have the similar thing. My handwriting is like super like, ooh.
It's just horrible.
Yeah, but you can draw, so whatever.
Yeah, no, it will be very pretentious to have like this sort of.
Yeah, you're like, I'm a letterer. I letter everything.
No.
Renan, we looked at Sindy's brush settings a couple minutes ago, but basically she just opened up the brush panel and changed the angle, made it, instead of a round brush, made it more into an oval. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and right now I'm just using the regular round brush because I'm just sketching, so. I'm gonna duplicate this part of the G.
Nice. It fits. Jan Eric, my computer is very fast. It's a little speed machine. Christina says this is very classy looking.
And I'm gonna move this a little.
Wow, that selection was really good. I was like,
Maybe I'm gonna make this even smaller. And I'm making it smaller so I can move this further to the right. Because it's not looking too centered. So shortening some parts of the letters can help you give more space.
wow, look at you. You're just playing. I love it.
There you go.
It's almost like it's clay and you're just molding things, pushing those pixels.
Fill this gap. And maybe we have a lot of space here, but we can do something like this.
Oh,
Who knows? Maybe something like that.
that's pretty cool.
So it's pretty much about looking at your space, how to fill it, and when it feels right, it's gonna feel right. You'll know it.
Yeah.
So
that
if you
looks
go
great.
to the first one we had, you see how this is too forced. It's almost like, I don't know, you can feel the tension there.
Yeah.
So I think something like this works a little better.
Yeah, the space is filled.
Yeah.
I see.
And you can also like set some opacity here. I'm gonna create a new layer, Shift, Command, Enter. And just play around. For example, maybe this letter T is more like that.
Yeah, just finessing it a little.
Yeah, you can just tweak some letters. You don't have to redraw everything.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's something like that instead.
Easy.
Mm-hmm. So when I saw the exercises yesterday, what I meant by, oh, maybe you can just set opacity and just explore this letter further, this is what I mean.
I
Like,
see.
It's just one letter you can play around with.
Yeah. And you can either merge them or go back to your original, start completely over.
Exactly.
Tess wants to know, is it possible to work like this in Illustrator?
Yeah, I think you can, because there's also brushes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel more comfortable in Photoshop just
Yeah.
because there's no, you know, the anchor points and all that, and move them in Photoshop is easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do it in Illustrator.
Yeah, it might be nice to use the pencil tool in Illustrator, Tess, because if you have it selected and you don't like something, you can just redraw over the path, and instead of drawing another path, it will just fix what you already have. So that could be helpful, but I agree, this is a little more intuitive just for sketching.
Yes. All right. So right now I'm considering my canvas.
Yeah,
and
the
I'm
rectangle.
gonna- exactly. So I'm gonna see what's here. For example, I have all this space and I have all this space. But maybe here I can have either some information if it was a poster, or maybe I can have some sort of ornament here, some sort of illustration here. I don't know, maybe I can add some ornaments here.
Yeah, fill out the space nicely.
Yeah. So it's pretty much about analyzing how much space you have. Maybe another thing I can do is just having these things here.
Little like corner.
And
Corner
maybe there's an
frames.
illustration here. We don't know what it can be, but
It's a mystery, even
it's
to
a
us.
mystery. Yeah, and then just start filling the gaps with something.
Ooh. Little French curve.
Could be.
Nice. Could be. See you later, Munir. Thanks for hanging out. Nato wants to see a battle between you and Anna to see who's the fastest designer.
Oh, come on, you cannot make friends go in battle.
Yeah. It's not a competition, it's a collaboration.
Maybe we can create something together.
Yeah, just really fast.
So yeah, so that's that.
Ahmad, yeah, Cindy has the Touch Bar Mac. That's the new one.
And it's very, very rough. Because that's the thing, it's just about playing around and see what feels good.
Right.
Yeah, so if you take a look at this,
Wow.
and then after you can add an illustration here. So it can be whatever you want.
It's so ornate and pretty.
I'm just gonna group all of these layers. And I'm ready to create a new layout. First, I'm gonna save.
Smart. Thank goodness. Chat, if you're working on anything, why don't you save? Just hit that Command S, please.
Cool. So I'm gonna start with another word. That was I love typography.
Right.
I'm gonna take New York City just because I love that that set of words.
That's your background of your computer, too.
Yeah.
It looks good. It is very well balanced.
Mm-hmm. So we have New.
Oh, Munir, this is your break. Okay, I see. Thanks for hanging out with us on your break.
Bye.
Appreciate it. What's up? I always like to hear, are people like at work watching? Are they freelancing it in their home office? On a break at work? Let us know. So we got 3 blocks.
It's cool because New has 3 letters, but W is a little more expanded.
Yeah.
So pretty much it's like you have 3 words with 4 letters
Yeah,
each.
right,
It's
right.
almost the same sizes. Let's see what we can do with these words. And this is where you can start playing around with something illustrated as well.
That was a great circle.
Yeah, I was very impressed about myself. Like, whoa.
Like, whoa, okay, I am a professional, huh?
I didn't know I could do it. So maybe this is one of those, you can think about the iconic things about New York, either New York that I'm working on, but your word can be something else.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, a circle can be, how do you call those that are in the street? Those?
Yeah, like a manhole cover or a sewer cover.
Yeah, a sewer cover. That's very New York.
Yeah.
So maybe this circle is one of those, and even the style after making your sketch can be treated like that.
Right, kind of stencil-y and bold.
Yeah, we're not gonna go that further, but maybe it's something that you can think of since the beginning.
Yeah, definitely, your concept.
Yeah, then after you can look at some sewer on internet and
Just look at some sewers. Take a walk to your closest sewer, take a picture.
Or go to the street and
Yeah.
take one of those food selfies.
Yeah, look both ways though. Careful.
Yeah.
Mama Kathleen can't have anybody getting hit by any cars or trolleys in San Francisco. So people are telling us where they're working from. Rob's working from home, the home office. Paul is illustrating beer at work right now. Fun, like a beer label. That's awesome. Eric is at the office and is supposed to be working. And he loves the host. Oh, thanks. That's nice. You can work and watch at the same time. I believe in you. Yeah, Sindy is using the 13-inch Cintiq HD. No touch preferences.
No touch.
Touch is turned off. Don is wondering, how can he work in New York? What's the good way to get started in New York?
Well, depends on what he wants to work. If he wants to work as an illustrator or a freelance, a designer. I don't know, maybe just create some, put your work together in a portfolio. Just start reaching out agencies or studios. Yeah, just select the best of your work and start knocking doors. And
Seriously.
it's easier when you live in the US, but if you are like me, I'm Mexican and I need a visa, so ask people, oh, do you sponsor? So people is friendly, I mean.
The worst they can say is no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they don't like you if they say no. You might get said no to a lot.
Actually, no's are good too, because that means you can ask, okay, what can I do to gain this job or whatever? And they would go back saying, oh, because you have to improve these 3 things, maybe.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, spend a year working on those things and try again.
Seriously. That's so true.
So there you go. We have a New York City inside a sewer, where York is more important, I would say.
Okay. The middle of the composition.
The middle, yeah.
Oh, Eric is also from Mexico. Cool.
Nice. Cheers.
We had a lot of people from Mexico here yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome. So sound off in the chat if you are from Mexico, please. Oh, Kyle, that's awesome to hear. He says, I'm the only graphic designer at my office, so this has been a great community and feedback for him. Thank you.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
That's a beautiful thing about Adobe Live. Just a bunch of creative people hanging out all day. So many people saying Mexico represent. Yeah. Don, Nato, Pepu. Mohammed is from India. Cool.
Oh, nice. India.
Yeah. Alejandro's in Mexico as well. Eric wants to know, where did you study, Sindy?
I studied at the School of Visual Arts in Monterey.
Is it connected to the one in New York?
No, not at
okay.
all.
Totally different.
Yeah, totally different thing. It's a public school in Mexico. Yeah, it's the public university in Monterey.
That's where you're from, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
It was very good experience. I had good teachers, good friends.
Is it a 4-year program?
Yeah, it's 4.5. It's
Whoa.
a bachelor's degree in graphic design.
Sweet.
It was super fun. I wouldn't be a student anymore, but
Like you would never do it again?
not again. I wouldn't go back to be 18.
Yeah.
But you guys do a good work.
Wow, we have a lot of people from all over the world. Tinsky's from Poland, Daria's in Russia. Malta.
Wow, Russia. What time is in Russia?
Good question. What time is it? Daria? Middle of the night, maybe? Super late?
Yeah. There you go. We have New York City inside a sewer.
I like it. I like the thickness. But they still have a little bit of like fun character, kind of bubbly.
Yeah, and you can tweak that afterwards. So first and more important thing is the layout. So let's try something very different now.
Ooh, some more diagonals.
Mm-hmm.
New York City. Yanina is wondering if you have any good websites to sell your prints and t-shirts. Do you recommend?
Well, I don't have any of that, but let me think.
Cool.
Because I know there's a lot of websites like Society6 where they have all the, like, you know, the work, they print it, they sell it, and they give you some percentage. But if you want to sell it yourself, I've heard about Kichink in Mexico.
Oh, Kachink.
Or is it Kichink every like
I've never heard of
worldwide?
it.
No, maybe that's in Mexico only.
Redbubble, yeah.
I don't know, maybe the people in the chat can share as well some places.
Yeah. I'm a fan of when you are actually like making the stock yourself, like having a home printer and sending it out. I feel like sometimes Society6 or Redbubble, you don't get very much kickback.
That's true.
But they do all the work for you, so you kind of pick your poison, I guess.
Yeah.
Threadless, yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, threadless.
Eric says, Cindy doesn't sell her stuff because she works for the big dogs like Coca-Cola. She's got the big clients.
But I would like to make some prints though.
Heck yeah.
So I don't dislike the idea. It's just that my apartment in New York is very small, so I don't have place for all those tubes and prints.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So it's more about logics there.
Yeah, literally all of my like creative supplies are in a shed in my backyard.
Yeah.
Because my place is so small.
Really, Kevin?
Yeah. It's okay though. It's California.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah, Nato says Kachink is it's a Mexico-based e-commerce site.
Okay. Well, if you're in Mexico, that's the option. So we have this other option. Maybe in the end you can put some illustration here.
Cool, a little New York drawing of some sort.
Yeah, maybe it's one of the bridges here. Somehow.
Do you have a favorite bridge in the city?
Not the Williamsburg Bridge.
Okay, anything but that.
I think the Brooklyn Bridge is very pretty. Always very crowded, but
yeah.
So maybe you have something like that in there, just to fill those gaps.
I like it. Nice. Eric, I'm Kathleen. You can find me online at Kathleen Illustrated. I'm a designer at Adobe.
Super cool work,
Nice
by
to
the way.
meet you. Oh, thank you. Very illustration heavy, which is why I'm Kathleen Illustrated. Eric says, other Eric says you are the master of composition.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. In chat, you will see that our timer right below me has just turned red. So that means you have under 5 minutes to get your portfolio submitted over to us. This is the last stream of the week. Not even the last stream of the day like it usually is. We're closing out the whole week. So if you want your work to be reviewed by Cindy, get it sent over to us over here in the portfolio review tab. We'll be doing that in about 5 minutes, and we'll give about 10 minutes per portfolio.
Nice, that's very nice.
Probably get to look through 3 or 4 projects. Yeah, there are so many Erics. I count 3. Any more Erics hanging out in the chat?
So this is another thing I usually do when you want to put things inside shapes.
The Big Apple.
The Big Apple.
Okay.
So maybe you want to, I don't know, put the New York City word inside it. That's even trickier. Like it's because you have to consider the shape around and also how do you lock it inside there.
Yeah, and still keep it readable, legible.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Like this space, for example, I can feel like these.
York?
There.
York City new. Yeah, we're not streaming on Monday, but we don't usually stream on Monday anyways, so you're not going to be missing out on much. And then next week we're going to be covering XD design. So if you've ever had any interest in like developing your own app, or at least designing it, or a website, or any kind of experience actually at all, you should come back next week and learn more about that. You can download Adobe XD in the meantime to start playing around. There's a really cool tutorial for it, really easy to learn, and we'll have some awesome designers coming up next week. Mohammed, we'll be starting on Tuesday, so just a couple days away. Yeah, Patricia, you need to resubmit your portfolio for each stream if you're not chosen. 1 time per guest, please. Perfect, Tim. Oh, it looks so good.
Right?
Yeah, you fit it inside that apple really well.
So that's one way.
Mm-hmm. I'd wear that on a t-shirt, like a little left chest. That'd be so cute.
Like if you remove the apple. Yeah, you can see those shapes. And you can play around with different letters.
Oh, nice.
But this one works better, I guess.
Yeah.
It's cool to experiment.
Totally. Just trying to see, how do I fill out this kind of strange apple-y shape the best?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Welcome back, Paul. He says, I stepped out for a meeting and wow, this is looking awesome. Yeah, Cindy's doing a lot of exploration, a lot of fun sketching.
And you can also use some little dots to fill spaces. I don't know.
Some little drips.
Drips. I love drips. You can also play around. You know, you remember word art.
Oh, yeah.
Like all these wavy...
The gradients.
But maybe it works. You never know.
Right. It kind of looks like a banner if it has that kind of swash to it. And chat, if you have any questions for Cindy, please send them over, because we're going to start doing portfolio reviews very soon, and we might not have a ton of time after that. So if you need a question answered, a very dire question, ask it, meow. Or follow her on Instagram and just ask her there.
Yeah. I've had a lot of messages with work from people.
Really?
Yeah, that's
cool. Like inspired by you.
Yeah, like, oh, I made this piece yesterday.
That's awesome. Your techniques are really, really, like once you show them, they seem very attainable. Like, oh, even I could do this.
It's easy.
Yeah, you're a master. Speaking of New York, did you see my pizza rat sticker?
Yeah, where? Oh,
The famous mascot of New York.
It's amazing how you can find those guys in New York.
Yeah, always stealing that pizza.
Always stealing pizza.
Munir is wondering, do you have any favorite artists off the top of your head?
You mean designer?
Yes, or anyone. Who inspires you?
Well, I love the work of Alex Trachute.
Alex?
He's like my top designer.
What's the last name?
Trachute.
With
Trachute.
How do you spell it?
Troch.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I love
Nice.
that guy.
Is he in New York as well?
Yeah, he's in New York.
Seems like it.
He's from Spain.
Nice. Let's pop on over. Thank you, Paco. Beautiful. Check that out. So many different styles.
Yeah, he's amazing. And lots of my friends, like Ricardo Gonzalez, he's a lettering artist.
Oh wait, is he? It's a living?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a living.
I met him in Spain.
Nice, he's my roommate.
Oh, that's so cool.
So lots of my friends I get inspired from. Miguel Reyes.
That's awesome. You have a bunch of talented friends that can keep you accountable, push you.
Yeah. All my friends at Hello Monday. my previous work, Bold 49, there's a lot of cool artists there too.
Yeah.
Look Choice, that's another guy.
Mm-hmm. Man, so many cool people. And chat, a lot of you are also very inspiring and skilled. I've seen some super cool portfolios coming from you all day. It is about time to do our portfolio reviews, so I'm gonna let Sindy finish this sketch and then we're gonna go to space and we'll meet you there. Oh nice, you're using the same Y, I love it.
Let's see how it works.
You're like, hold your horses, might not work, don't get too excited.
Yeah, but I like this process of sketching because you're not creating anything final, it's just playing around, like experimenting.
Right.
You can always set opacity again and start modifying some letters.
Right. And so before you get too far into the modification, maybe we can see everything you've done.
Yes, of
Super
course.
quick. Where did it all go?
No, it's here.
Yeah.
So
we've just been playing around with tons of different sketches.
let's go to the very first thing. So we started with Adobe Light, created some guides, and created these sketches.
Boom, 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 boom.
Then took a final sketch and we made this guy.
And you changed the brush a little bit?
And then we choose from the chat the words I love typography, and then played around with some guides and then created this sketch. And then we jumped into New York.
Yeah, the sewer cover. And the bridge and the apple.
And it's just playing around with different sort of layouts and letter styles.
Man.
See how it works inside a shape. See how it works like in a postcard style.
Yeah, and you always try more than one. You're always kind of changing the opacity, like you said, making a new layer.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So we might be able to kind of go back over all your work again at the end of the stream. We'll probably have a couple minutes, but for now, let's do some portfolio reviews.
Let's jump into it.
Cool, so let's go to space and we'll see you there in a moment. Whoa, we almost didn't make it there. What's up, everyone? Hey, Shauna, how you doing? This is a good time to screenshot us, so do it now. Okay, have you screenshotted us? Good. I'm gonna take this off now. Let the hair free.
I love it.
So as you can see, chat, we are in the space station, and this is where we like to do our portfolio reviews. We have a beautiful portfolio open on the space screen. Command Center behind me. This is Laura Garcia's portfolio. So cool. Laura is in Nicaragua. Illustrator, letterer, After Dark Designs. So let's see. Before we actually jump into the portfolio, we kind of like to look at what kind of information Laura provides. Like if we were a client, would we get all the info we need from her? So we have the about, graphic designer, and children's book illustrator. Cool, we got our work experience, and we got some links. Awesome.
I think that's right on point, is where can I find this person and what does she do? That's it.
Yeah, you don't need to have like a manifesto that's 3 pages long. Keep it simple. Nice job, Laura. All right, so it looks like there's illustration and lettering. Is there something specific you want to jump into first?
Well, I would say first, it's very nice when you consider your thumbnails because people sometimes just see like the very first thing. It's like the first impression. So it's really good to choose the right crop of your work.
Yeah.
So it shows a good cover. Let's see. How about this first piece?
Okay, lettering and music. Wow.
In Spanish, yes.
Heck yeah. So let's look at the entire project before really jumping into any specific feedback. So she has quite a few different pieces. Whoa, that's wild.
Very Latin American. That's the way.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. So do any of these really stand out to you to talk about first?
Yeah, well, let's talk about first that colorful one.
Oh, yeah. Scrolling.
Yeah, let's go into this one.
Okay.
I'm wondering what project was this for, but I think these layout tips that I gave today would be very useful for all these projects, right? Like you can see, for example, Oh My and Life. They are a little bit like, like a pyramid, and maybe they can follow the same baseline.
Yeah, that's true.
This part in particular, Everyday Possible Way, it's super cool, I would say. Like they are following the same baseline.
This looks really nice.
Yeah, and it depends on the context, but maybe you have all these flourishes around the letters, but how about making them toned down a little bit so the letters pop up from the background? Because right now you don't know like what's the background and what's the letters.
Totally.
It's just a matter of choosing another color for these ornaments and illustration, and then you have the letters, boom, separate from the background.
Yeah.
Other than that, the shapes are cool, are very good.
Yeah.
It's just a way of differentiating letters from background.
Yeah, the hierarchy is a little
Hierarchy.
could use a little work, but the design is really strong so
Yeah.
far.
Exactly.
Cool. Any other ones you want to comment on?
This one has super cool effects, right?
Heck yeah. What does it say? Maran?
Amarone.
Do you know what that means?
Like tie me up.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The ribbon.
Yeah, it's good that you're taking the word and the concept of the word and you are like putting it into the actual piece. That's cool.
Yeah, I totally get this like idea, and this texture is really interesting and pretty convincing with its shininess, but I'm noticing a little bit of inconsistency with the way that it looks like the ribbon is actually turning in space. Like, it just looks a little bit flat here. Like this angle needs to be a little smoother with a more smooth curve there and there as well. And I also noticed it like
There.
here a little bit.
And it's just a matter of, taking those specific parts and softening them. So,
yeah, this is cool. This texture, I'm really loving how when it goes like really far forward or really far back, it gets flat.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. Cool. Let's get one more in here. What else catches your eye?
this black and white in the first one.
Yeah, it has such a cool vibe. Super old school.
Yeah, like very vintage, like 20s style.
Yeah, do you know what this says?
Yeah. What other thing can I do if it's not? If I don't forget, I'll die.
Okay.
Maybe it's a song or
Yeah.
something from a movie. I like the layout here. Maybe there's something interesting you can do with that hat.
Yeah.
Maybe you can make some sort of lockup in that corner. I will play around with that. It can be maybe illustrated instead of having this more like detailed illustration.
Okay.
It can be something more like vector shapey.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how you're using these little shapes to fill the blank space. I feel like this cigarette's a little like
Shy.
yeah, it's small, but it's also like a right angle, and it seems like this space maybe needs more of like an acute angle or some sort of diagonal. It just seems like it's like and then it's almost touching this.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that cigarette can be more in the bottom because olvido,
Yeah.
the word olvido is made out of smoke.
Yep.
So how about connecting those two ideas and
Right.
having the cigarette maybe sticking out from the art of Morire and just trying to, I don't know, you're trying to say that this other word comes out from that smoke.
Right. Right. I love the techniques though used on this lettering.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
beautiful.
I will look into some of the weights of these letters. I can see, for example, the letter R.
This one?
Yeah, if you zoom in. Maybe this part in the R, the first stem, is too thick, and then the next one is very thin.
Right.
So maybe I will look into the actual weights. For example, letter A here in Hacer is very thin compared to the crossbar of the H.
Yeah.
So I will work this word so all the the weights of the words are consistent.
Yeah, that's interesting. Didn't really pick up on that.
Yeah, and what you can do is just Google the Roman alphabet, and you can analyze a little bit like where is the weight in these letters, and just go to your lettering and adjust it.
Yeah, because you were saying yesterday people are expecting to see the weight in certain areas. But if you want to break some rules sometimes, Laura, That's okay.
Yeah, that's also okay.
Yeah.
But you know, this letter has a lot of personality.
Uh-huh.
So it's a matter just of adjusting some weights.
Yeah.
And then you'll have it.
Yeah, and it'll still have the personality that you
Exactly.
are doing so well. Cool, let's jump into another project.
Now you choose Gatling.
Okay, lettering on iPad, go! I love using mobile apps to do illustration.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what you do.
Cool.
Nice, so this looks like almost like a cut paper.
Is it
Here's-
real paper?
No, I don't think so, but it just shows that, like, I cut this, even though it's a painting.
It's very beautiful.
Oh, a video process. Nice. So, Laura, what did you use? Is this Sketch or Procreate? Let us know. I love this kind of bright color scheme on the black or the dark background.
Yeah, nice work with the shades.
I almost don't know if this needs these elements that like shows that it's in the real world. I kind of like when it's just conceptual and kind of spacey. It seems like a good enough concept without having to add these real world tools.
Yeah, I think it's a very strong piece.
Let's see if there's more. Cool. And these seem almost a little bit more sketchy. Like she's just working on the iPad, having fun with it. This warm color palette with this cool background is really nice.
Oh, work in progress for all of them.
It's
Cool.
awesome.
This is more of a funky style.
Funky town.
Funky town.
Say yes now. Google it later. I like this. This is fun.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that lens can overlap a little bit on the Google It block. You know, it's very nice in composition when some things sometimes are on top of others.
Yeah, right. Even
It
that's
helps
nice.
giving them some volume and some interesting things
Yeah.
happening.
It makes you feel like the things are actually moving.
And I will look into hierarchy here.
Okay.
Like everything seems like it's the same weight.
Yeah.
So maybe say yes can be, I don't know, smaller, or say bigger, yes smaller, or yes bigger, because that's like the strongest word.
Yeah.
Maybe say is smaller, yes is bigger.
Yeah, because you're right. These all have such distinct styles. They're all pretty loud. You don't really know which one to look at first.
Yeah, sometimes it's just cool to sketch hierarchy.
Yeah. Love is my weakness. Nice. Great color palettes in all of these, Laura. I really like it. Femme fatale. Let's check out these swashes.
Crazy swatches.
Mm-hmm.
I think here just the crossbar in the F is a little lost.
That's true.
So you would say it says femme talale.
Yeah, or Tim.
Yeah, let's just
Fatale.
add some weight in there and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just really the only thing. It's
Yeah.
nice. We got another process. So much work in here. Cook.
Right.
This is fun. Very illustrated. Let's get through. Whoa, San Francisco. Hey, this
Super funky.
heck yeah, I love that.
Nice.
Looks like amoeba music.
Yeah.
With this cool gradient. Oh, I love this. You'd use the lasso tool, add a little bit of a gradient. Oh, wait.
Some shapes exploration.
Yeah.
It's a letter A.
Oh, okay, I was like, what? Good call. Oh, what is this? Dracarys.
Dracarys. Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. This is, I think, maybe my favorite lettering.
Yeah,
So
and
stark.
one thing here, and actually one of my teachers at the Cooper Union told me that when you have the shape of the letters, when you nail them, like the letter shapes are great, then you can illustrate on top of them whatever you want,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have a good piece.
Yeah.
But first you have to nail like the good shapes, and then draw whatever you want on top of them.
Yeah.
Add all the effects and ornaments you want,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna have a good piece.
That's smart. Get your foundation down, and you really did here, Laura. Nice. Laura, thanks so much for posting your portfolio. Super cool to see your work, especially your mobile work. Always love seeing artists working on the go. So everyone go give Laura a follow. I will do so I can see when you post new work. And let's move on to our next victim. All right. I'm going to ask you to pronounce this name.
What's her name? Oh,
P-E-P-U-E.
Pepue?
Pepue?
Pepue Lopez?
Is that you? If you're here, let us know in the chat.
Where are you, Pepe?
Yeah, so it says Pepe is in Mexico. About me. Maybe you can let us know.
Okay, he's a marketing designer and self-taught person, and he likes lettering, advertising, and creating brands.
Awesome.
And I sneeze loud.
Okay, that's what that is. Cool, so this is Pepe. I don't see them in the chat yet. Let's pick one to jump into. What do you think?
Let's start with this ribbon thing.
This one.
Yeah.
Vans 50th anniversary.
Cool brand.
Yeah, I love how you're actually setting up a project, telling us a little bit about it.
Yeah, and it's nice when people take the time to, build the Behance projects in a proper way. Like you've put some love into the design of the actual project, not just drawing the images.
No,
like
yeah. This is, from what I've learned, this is what brands and companies really like to see in your project, some process. They like to see how you think and also how you present your ideas instead of just, like you said, sticking it up there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was this actually made with shoelaces?
Yeah,
Cool.
I thought it was very interesting.
Off the wall, Vans off the wall, nice. So this is the process. Took the picture, editing it in Photoshop. Oh, cool.
That's very nice. I think it's a very strong piece. Something I would say maybe, like just refining small details. It's the second L in wall.
Yeah.
Can be, it can be because right now it looks more like an ornament. So it looks like the wall is losing one letter. So just making it a little taller, and I think it's fine if it's behind this shoelace.
Yeah.
The same with letter E from the, because it looks like an L.
Yep.
And it's always important in lettering when, I don't know, you don't let one letter take the place of the other. Like,
right.
Am I an A or am I an L?
What am I?
Other than that, I think a super strong piece. It's very well done.
Yeah, this illustration kind of came out of nowhere. And I think it was owned by multiple people, so maybe the other person did the illustration. Let's see. Yeah, it seems like they're more of an illustrator.
Right.
But that's cool. It's always nice to see collaborations on Behance. Shows that you work well with other people. Give you a little bit of a appreciation. But it's awesome to see like the found lettering, or the actual, you took a physical thing and made letters out of it.
Yeah, super cool work.
Really nice. Let's look at one
I'm
more.
so happy that there's a lot of cool illustrators in Mexico. I'm proud of it.
That's awesome. I've noticed that as well. Super cool. All right, one more.
You choose, Kathleen.
Okay,
One and one.
Cindy. I don't usually get this honor. Let's do something a little different. Ooh, a little bit of a mock-up. Nice.
Yeah, good presentation.
Little story. Oh, it's for tattooing. Showing the process some
like
more.
a logo, right?
Oh, I see. It's like the process on the
sketch.
left, finished on the right. Tattoo artist. Cool, seeing it in all of its different contexts. What do you think of the lettering? Oops.
All right, let's analyze these letters.
And we have like a minute. So let's analyze it in a minute.
Yeah, so I would say there's just like this combination of, like for example, the letter E. I think there's some space in there that needs to be compensated on the bottom part of the E.
Right here.
Because all the letters are sort of connecting like a script style.
Yeah.
So there is something going on in this one that looks more like a Roman letter. And there's this space that's, maybe I will explore this letter E a little bit further.
Okay.
Letter R as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I will work this one a little bit more.
You mean to just take up a different space? Or?
Yeah, maybe more of the weight. There's something in the weight. It's too thin on the right, on the left, sorry.
Right.
Yeah, but it's just a matter of adjusting weight.
What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think composition is right, but they look like they are leaning this way.
A little
Maybe
bit.
it's a matter of just adjusting them so they look more vertical.
Right, and I think maybe they're supposed to, since it's in like a circular mock-up or lock-up, it's kind of trying to like fill this space better, but it looks a little off.
Yeah, exactly. What usually happens is, for example, this letter V is taking so much space that it's like almost like making you put Tattoo Artist further
Yeah.
down.
Ah.
So how about trying something different with the V so Tattoo Artist fits better in this space? And it's what we saw today. Because if you analyze the space, there's a lot like going on there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that space can be worked a little better.
Yeah, and I think maybe even the kerning between these letters might be a little too far in some areas when this is so nicely, at least between the letters, so well spaced.
Yeah.
So like these two O's, they're
One
pretty
is
far.
like, hey, where are you going?
He's like, I'm gonna go get tattooed, you guys. I'll be back. But really beautiful, just branding portfolio.
Very
Pepwe.
well presented.
Yeah, beautiful. Both you and Laura have amazing portfolios. Everyone, go give them a follow. If you see them in chat, you can just click on their icon. Go give them a follow. Leave some comments. And that leaves us with like 4 minutes with Sindy left. So sad.
What can I say?
Yeah, it's over. So maybe in these next 4 minutes, could you go over super quickly what you did day 1, day 2, and today?
Yes, of course.
Perfect.
So let's jump into the past.
On the way back, machine.
On the way back. So the first day, so good that I'm organized today.
Good job, Sindy.
So day 1, I taught you how to make this piece
Oh,
of
beautiful.
letters. It's
Yeah.
not finished yet, but I'm gonna finish it for you guys.
Okay.
And post it on Behance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna open the file real quick.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, so day 1, we created this piece with a grid, just like we did today. And then I made this sketch, pretty rough, but then drew on top of it to refine it, and then drew on top of it again to refine it a little bit further.
Yeah.
So then I went to Illustrator and then created the actual letters in vectors.
Yeah. You vectored the entire thing.
Yeah.
And then did
exactly.
everything else as well. Gosh.
I'm gonna open the vectors real quick.
Cool.
But after the vectors, I put the same layer on the back to create its sort of volume
Yep.
and added these effect gradients on top of the letters.
Yeah. Oh.
Hello?
And Illustrator crashed.
No. And then just added this small, like, you know, little line to
Highlight.
create some highlight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, where's my vectors?
Hello.
There you go. Yeah, so I vectorized the whole thing. Everything is like 0 and 90 degrees,
Right.
as you can see here.
Perfect. That's satisfying.
It's so satisfying. Create a smart object, so every time I modify these vectors, it's updated in Photoshop.
Yep.
And then just sketched up some things here, some ornaments that afterwards I would take into Illustrator and just make them look beautiful, because right now they are sketchy.
And your friend let you use the 8 from his typeface.
From my friend Miguel Canela.
Mm-hmm.
And this is so far how it's looking.
Awesome.
You can see some of the effects here.
It's
and
lovely.
That's Canela
Mm-hmm.
and some vectors. So that was day 1.
Cool. And we just have a couple minutes left, so we'll go a little quickly through
Cool.
day 2 and 3.
Day 2, I created this piece.
Amazing.
New York
Yeah.
City. It's just made out of this set of brushes that I created manually
Oh my gosh.
with paint
Yeah, on a whiteboard.
on a whiteboard. And this is the brushes that I use for creating this piece. And some splatters and some shapes in there.
Yeah, so you just built the letters out of those.
Yeah.
You didn't hand, paint every single letter.
Exactly. And same sketching process. Create a grid and then sketch it. And just went for it.
Awesome.
And today, finally, I just taught you some tips for laying out things. Layout is the hardest part for me in lettering because sometimes you get the shapes really well.
Yeah.
But if they don't look well playing around together, then it gets a little, not as a strong piece as it could be.
Totally.
So we have Adobe Live, created with a sketch. We have some exploration in I Love Typography.
Yeah.
That you can afterwards make a good piece with it.
And then some
And then
New
we
York.
created New York inside a sewer, or as a postcard style, or inside an apple. It's just about space, honestly.
I think everyone learned a whole lot, specifically today when you were just talking more about the idea of designing and not just the techniques. So where can people follow you on Instagram? Is it Sindy.Ethel?
It's Sindy Ethel on Behance and Twitter, and Cindy.Ethel on Instagram because someone took my name.
Dang it, Cindy. Other Cindy.
Give me my Sindy Ethel on Instagram.
So go give her a follow. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Whoa, people are excited out there. So we will be back bright and early next week on Tuesday for XD. Thanks for hanging out with us for hand lettering this week, and we hope you have an amazing weekend. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.